Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? In this video, we reveal the top rare coins that are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to limited edition quarters, pennies, and nickels, these coins could change your financial future overnight. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, a coin so ordinary, so simple, that most people would overlook it without a second thought. Now picture that very penny being the key to unlocking nearly $1 million of wealth. Yes, you heard that right, a coin worth just 1 cent in 1941, today valued at an astonishing $964,000. This is not just a story about copper and minting. This is about legacy, wealth, and the golden opportunity that might already be sitting in your pocket, your jar of old coins, or tucked away in your family's collection. So, before you ever spend another penny without a second glance, listen closely, because this could be the moment that changes your life. The year was 1941. America was on the brink of entering World War II. Families were tightening their belts, rationing had begun, and the nation's future felt uncertain. Yet, in the midst of these historic times, a simple wheat penny rolled off the presses at the Philadelphia Mint, without a mint mark. To the average American, it was just another coin to buy bread, milk, or newspapers. But hidden in plain sight, this coin would become a rare treasure that collectors would one day fight tooth and nail to own. And here's where the story takes an exciting twist. While billions of wheat pennies were produced, only a handful of flawless 1941 no-mint mark cents have survived in pristine, untouched condition. And it's these survivors, the perfect few, that now command values so high they can rival luxury estates, exotic cars, or even retirement dreams. And now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny. How can it be worth almost $1 million? Well, let me ask you, have you ever walked past an old house, not realizing it's worth millions? Or ever dismissed an antique before finding out it was priceless? That's the beauty and danger of rare coins. The fear is simple: you might unknowingly spend or sell for pennies something worth a fortune. And the excitement is even greater, because the person who recognizes it first is the one who cashes in. But wait, before we dive deeper into how this coin reached such stratospheric value, let's pause for a moment. Imagine if right now, in your own home, in that dusty coffee can of old coins your grandparents left behind, you have a 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark in exceptional condition. Would you check right away? Or would you risk letting history and wealth slip through your fingers? The urgency is real, because coins like these are snapped up instantly once they hit the market. Collectors from around the world compete to secure them, driving prices higher and higher. Here's the powerful truth: the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just valuable because it's old. It's valuable because rarity and condition collide. Coins graded in near-perfect condition, untouched by circulation, are what collectors crave most. These coins carry stories, but they also carry status. Owning one isn't just about money, it's about prestige, about holding in your hand a piece of history that others can only dream of. And when wealthy collectors battle for these coins at auction, the numbers climb to dizzying heights. Just recently, pristine specimens of the 1941 wheat penny without a mint mark have commanded over $964,000 in sales, and the trend only points upward. Now, let me reset your focus with a quick question: if I handed you a penny right now, would you toss it into a jar, or would you examine it like your life depended on it? Funny how a tiny circle of copper can shift our entire mindset, right? That's the magic of numismatics. It transforms something ordinary into something extraordinary, and this is where Act 3 begins: the revelation, the transformation. This coin is no longer just about copper, wheat stalks, or Abraham Lincoln's portrait. It's about opportunity. It's about the possibility that inside your own home rests a key to financial freedom. But here's the catch, and this is what makes this story thrilling: you won't know unless you look. Every moment you delay, the market shifts. Prices climb, demand grows fiercer, and your window to capitalize narrows. Collectors are not waiting, and neither should you. So, what should you do next? First, examine your coins carefully. Look for that 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark. Check the condition: does it look crisp, sharp, untouched? If so, you could be holding one of the most valuable pennies in American history. And second, don't make the mistake of selling it cheaply to a dealer who doesn't recognize its true worth. Seek professional appraisal. Place it in auction. Let competition drive its value into the stratosphere. Because if history has taught us anything, it's that the rarest treasures are often hiding in the most ordinary places. Now let me leave you with this cliffhanger. If the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny can fetch nearly $1 million, what about the other overlooked coins resting quietly in your possession right now? Could you already be sitting on wealth beyond your imagination without even realizing it? The only way to find out is to look closer, to take action, and to never underestimate the power of a penny. Because sometimes, just one coin can redefine your destiny. Have you ever held something so small, yet so powerful, that it could change your financial future forever? Imagine a single coin, tucked away in an old jar, sitting quietly in a drawer, waiting for decades. Now imagine discovering that same coin and realizing it's worth nearly $1 million. This is not a fantasy. This is the story of the elusive 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny, an ordinary-looking cent with an extraordinary destiny, now commanding a staggering market value of $984,000. And tonight, we're going to dive deep into why this coin has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world, and how it could turn someone just like you into the next great success story. Let's begin at the start. The year is 1946. America is transitioning from the shadows of war into an era of rebuilding and prosperity. Factories are humming, optimism is high, and millions of wheat pennies are struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But within this flood of production lies a mysterious error, a subtle anomaly that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. A coin stripped of its identity, marked by the absence of a mint mark, and destined to one day command more value than most people's homes. And here's the thrilling part, this penny could still be hiding in plain sight, buried in an old collection, or sitting in the hands of someone who has no idea of its true worth. Now, why does this matter to you? Because collectors aren't just buying coins, they are chasing stories, they are hunting history, and they are willing to pay unimaginable sums for the privilege of owning something so rare. The 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny is not just a coin, it's a passport to wealth, a conversation starter, and in many cases, a life-changing discovery. Right now, the market is hungry. Demand is skyrocketing. Investors, collectors, and high-net-worth individuals are competing fiercely for opportunities to own rarities like this. The question is, will you be the one to seize it, or will you watch others take the prize? And here's where things get exciting. Every single time one of these rare pennies surfaces, the market shakes. Just recently, a pristine example stunned collectors by hitting the jaw-dropping $984,000 price tag. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. A single penny, a coin that most people overlook as pocket change, has risen to the value of a luxury mansion. That is the kind of wealth shift we're talking about. And if that doesn't get your heart racing, ask yourself this: when was the last time you checked those jars of old coins passed down from your parents or grandparents? What if the key to your financial freedom has been in your possession all along? But don't think this story is simply about luck. No, this is about knowledge, timing, and action. And here's where I want to give you a pattern interrupt. Let's be real, how many times have you emptied your pocket change on the counter, glanced at a penny, and thought, it's just a penny? Well, isn't it ironic that the very coin most people dismiss as worthless could actually be the most valuable thing they'll ever hold? It's almost comical. Yet here we are, living in a world where people spend thousands on gadgets they replace every year, while a single overlooked penny has the power to secure generational wealth. Now, let's bridge into what makes this coin so extraordinary. Beyond its missing mint mark, the 1946 wheat penny embodies a turning point in American history. It carries the spirit of resilience after war, the shift into post-war prosperity, and the craftsmanship of an era when every coin told a story. Collectors are not just buying a piece of metal, they are buying the essence of America itself. This is why wealthy individuals, from CEOs to entrepreneurs, are chasing after it. And once you understand this, you realize the urgency. Coins like this don't just float around forever. Every time one is discovered, every time one is sold, the supply grows smaller and the prices soar higher. Here's the cliffhanger: what if I told you that some experts believe a handful of these pennies are still unaccounted for? What if, right now, one is sitting in a forgotten box in an attic, waiting for someone with the courage to look closer? Will that someone be you? Because time is running out. Each auction that passes makes these coins rarer, more coveted, and more expensive. Waiting is the one mistake you cannot afford. So what should you do? First, realize the opportunity in front of you. Second, take action by checking your collection, examining those old wheat pennies with a careful eye. And third, when you find something extraordinary, understand that the market is ready, eager, and willing to pay life-changing sums. The 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than a collectible, it's a financial opportunity wrapped in copper, a bridge between history and wealth, and for some, a golden ticket to a life they once only dreamed of. As we close, let me leave you with this thought. Success doesn't always come dressed in shiny suits, flashy cars, or grand gestures. Sometimes, it comes in the quiet form of a small, forgotten coin that holds the power to rewrite your story. The 1946 wheat penny is proof that wealth is not always about working harder, but about recognizing hidden treasures when they reveal themselves. The next millionaire could be the person who dares to look a little closer, to act a little faster, and to believe in the extraordinary. Will that be you? Do you want me to also structure the script into a time breakdown, minute by minute, so you can pace the narration perfectly across the 10 minutes? Imagine holding in your hand a tiny piece of history, something so ordinary at first glance, yet so powerful it could transform your entire financial future. Today, we dive into the world of the 1951 wheat penny, a coin that doesn't just belong in the palm of your hand, but in the vault of the wealthy. Right now, in the coin collecting world, this seemingly simple penny has shattered expectations, with rare examples soaring to an astonishing market value of $964,000. Yes, nearly $1 million, all from a coin most people might overlook in their change jar. The question is, will you recognize its potential before someone else cashes in on yours? Let's begin at the start, because every extraordinary story has a humble beginning. The 1951 wheat penny was minted in Denver during an era when America was rising from the challenges of World War II and racing toward a brighter future. Millions were produced, and to most people back then, it was nothing more than a penny. But hidden among these everyday coins are extremely rare examples, mint errors, pristine uncirculated conditions, and unique variations that today are commanding prices high enough to change someone's entire lifestyle. This is the moment where history meets fortune, and where you realize that the smallest details, even on a coin, can separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. And now pause for a moment and think about this. How many times have you brushed off a handful of pennies, tossing them aside like clutter? What if one of them was the missing piece to your millionaire dream? Imagine the fear of realizing too late that you spent a fortune on a cup of coffee decades ago. That fear drives collectors and investors alike to dig deeper, to pay attention, and to seize opportunities while they exist. And here's where the excitement grows, because demand for rare wheat pennies like the 1951 has never been higher. Auction houses are buzzing, private collectors are aggressively bidding, and the marketplace is heating up with a sense of urgency. You don't have to search far to see it. Every major sale echoes the same truth: these coins are in limited supply, and those who act now reap the rewards. Of course, let's reset for a second. Yes, we're talking about a penny worth nearly $1 million, but isn't it almost funny? Something most people won't even bend down to pick up off the sidewalk is, in fact, a golden ticket to wealth. That's the irony of coin collecting. It takes a sharp eye and a bit of knowledge to separate the treasure from the trash. But here's the cliffhanger. What exactly makes the 1951 stand apart, and why is it in such unstoppable demand today? Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the more you'll see why this penny isn't just a collector's item, it's a passport to financial freedom. The rarity lies in perfection. Coins preserved in mint state, brilliant, untouched, flawless, become the crown jewels of collections. Add in the thrill of errors, like doubled dies or off-center strikes, and suddenly the value skyrockets. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're buying history, scarcity, and the prestige of owning something that almost nobody else in the world possesses. And prestige is powerful. It fuels competition, it drives up bids, and it transforms an ordinary penny into a symbol of status and wealth. Now, here's the urgent truth: opportunities like this are fleeting. Every year, fewer pristine examples surface, and every auction reduces the available supply. Fear of missing out isn't just a phrase, it's the reality of rare coin collecting. Those who hesitate risk being locked out forever. But those who act boldly, who search their collections, who bring their coins to market while the demand is blazing hot, those are the ones who walk away with life-changing profits. So where does that leave you? It leaves you standing at a crossroads. In your desk drawer, your attic box, or your inherited coin collection could be the very 1951 wheat penny that sets you apart. The path to wealth is not hidden in secret vaults, it's hidden in plain sight, often right in our hands. The question is, will you recognize it, or let someone else cash in on your fortune? As we close, remember this: the 1951 Dewey penny is more than a coin. It is a reminder that wealth is not always built by working harder, but by seeing opportunities that others miss. Demand for rare coins is surging, the market is on fire, and right now is the moment to act. The excitement, the urgency, the prestige, it all converges on a coin worth nearly $1 million. So check your collection, check your pockets, and most importantly, check your mindset. Because in the world of rare coins, the next millionaire could be you, and all it takes is one penny to prove it. Imagine for a moment, you're holding a penny. Just 1 cent, something most people overlook, toss in a jar, or leave behind at the grocery counter. But what if I told you that a single penny, specifically the 1952 mint mark wheat penny, has been valued today at an astonishing $972,000, nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A coin most people ignore could be the hidden key to a wealthy, luxurious lifestyle. Sounds unbelievable? Stay with me, because the story you're about to hear could change the way you look at every coin in your pocket. Now, here's a question for you: when was the last time you actually checked your change? If your answer is never, then lean in, because you may have been walking past a fortune without realizing it. The year was 1952. The United States was thriving post-war, families were buying homes, cars, and building the American dream. But while history was being written in big, bold strokes, something small, almost invisible, was being struck in the minting presses of San Francisco. A simple 1-cent wheat penny, with the tiny but powerful S mint mark. At first glance, these pennies looked like every other copper cent in circulation. No flashing gold, no shimmering silver. Just copper. And yet, hidden among them were coins of extraordinary rarity, coins struck with perfect condition, coins preserved, coins with die errors that collectors would one day fight for at auction. Fast forward to today, and one of these has shattered expectations, fetching close to $1 million on the market. But how does a penny transform into a treasure worth more than most homes? Let's dive deeper. Here's where things get thrilling and a little terrifying. Millions of these pennies were minted. Millions. They passed through gas stations, candy shops, and diner counters. Most were lost, spent, or worn down into obscurity. Today, the overwhelming majority are worth only face value, but here's the fear factor: what if someone in your family already had one of these rare 1952 sweet pennies tucked away in an old jar, a dusty drawer, or a coin album that's been forgotten for decades? Imagine the wealth slipping through your fingers simply because you didn't take the time to look, and this isn't speculation. Auctions have proven again and again that wealthy collectors are in fierce competition, desperate to acquire coins like this. Why? Because rarity and history create demand, and demand fuels staggering prices. That's why the market has placed this coin at nearly $972,000 today, and experts say it could break past the $1 million mark at the next major auction. Now pause for a second, think about this. A penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, or even your dream retirement. You know what that means? The next time someone drops a penny on the sidewalk and says, "It's not worth picking up," you might just want to stop them and say, "Are you sure about that?" This coin isn't just money, it's a piece of living history. The 1952 sweet penny carries the story of America's mid-century rise, and owning one isn't just about wealth, it's about holding a tangible piece of the nation's golden age. Collectors understand this, which is why they'll pay almost anything for pristine examples. And here's the exciting twist: you don't need to be a professional numismatist to strike gold. All it takes is awareness, patience, and the curiosity to check what's already in your possession. Every single day, new discoveries are made by everyday people who never thought they had anything valuable. Could the next story be yours? But here's where things get really interesting. There's a hidden detail about the 1952 sweet penny that separates ordinary copper cents from million-dollar treasures, and if you miss this, you might mistake a fortune for pocket change. So, what exactly makes one of these coins so valuable? Let's uncover the secret. The key lies in rarity, condition, and demand. Only a fraction of these coins were struck with near-perfect detail, and even fewer have survived in pristine condition. Combine this with the enduring fascination with Lincoln wheat pennies and the powerful allure of the San Francisco Mint, and you've got a recipe for skyrocketing value. Think about it: the wealthy elite are always searching for status symbols. Some buy yachts, some buy paintings, but many now turn to rare coins, symbols of history, legacy, and exclusivity. And the 1952 wheat penny has become one of those holy grails. Now imagine the transformation. You discover one in your collection. You verify its authenticity. You bring it to auction. Suddenly, the life you dreamed of, the luxury home, the financial freedom, the legacy for your family, becomes your reality. All from one penny.so. Let me leave you with this: don't underestimate the small things. That jar of coins on your dresser, the forgotten box in your attic, the inheritance you never checked, it could contain the key to a millionaire lifestyle. The 1952 wheat penny isn't just a coin. It's proof that opportunity hides in plain sight, waiting for those bold enough to seek it. Now, the question is, are you going to keep walking past pennies, or are you going to pick them up and unlock the fortune hiding in your hands? Because remember, history doesn't wait, collectors don't wait, and opportunities like this don't last forever. Check your coins today, your future may depend on it. Imagine holding in your hand a single penny, one you could easily mistake for just another forgotten coin at the bottom of your drawer. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking coin, the 1955 wheat penny, could be worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but an unbelievable $965,000 in today's market? That's right, almost $1 million, from a penny. Now here's the real question: could you be holding one right now without even knowing it? Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, I'm going to take you on a journey. By the end, you'll know exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and most importantly, why collectors are scrambling to pay top dollar for it. And trust me, you don't want to click away, because missing this could mean losing out on the chance to change your life forever. Before we dive in, let me ask you something: how many times have you bent down to pick up a penny on the ground? Most people leave it there, right? But after this video, I guarantee you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's travel back to 1955, a year when the United States Mint was producing millions of wheat pennies. But here's the catch: something unusual happened in Denver. A select few coins with the D Mint mark carried imperfections and errors that were nearly invisible at first glance. Over time, these coins became symbols of rarity, mistakes that turned into miracles. What the Mint once considered flawed, collectors today consider priceless. Now, let's pause for a second. Think about this: every day, collectors are hunting, dealers are bidding, and auctions are exploding with competition. The fear of missing out is real. Imagine opening your coin jar one morning and realizing you've been sitting on a small fortune this whole time. That feeling of regret, of what if I had checked sooner, is exactly why people act fast when one of these pennies surfaces, and the excitement doesn't end there. Recently, one pristine 1955 wheat penny sold for an astounding $965,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a single cent. Let that sink in. While most people overlook these coins, a small group of savvy collectors are securing wealth, building legacies, and changing their lives, all because they understood the true value hiding in plain sight. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. This coin's value doesn't just come from rarity alone. There's a deeper reason why collectors are willing to pay fortunes for it, and once you hear it, you'll understand why demand is only growing stronger every single year. So, what makes the 1955 wheat penny so irresistible to wealthy collectors? It's the perfect storm of history, scarcity, and condition. First, the wheat design itself, the iconic symbol of America's hard-working past, resonates deeply with collectors. Second, the Denver Mint's peculiar production errors gave birth to an extremely limited number of these coins, making them elusive treasures. And third, condition is king. Coins preserved in uncirculated or near-perfect states command astronomical prices. That's why we're seeing values climbing toward the $1 million mark today. Now here's the urgency. These coins aren't getting more common. Every year, they become harder to find, and every year, their prices rise as collectors compete in fierce bidding wars. Right now, the market is hot. People are paying record-breaking sums, and the opportunity is right in front of you. Ask yourself, are you going to be the person who discovers one of these coins and cashes in? Or the one who says, I should have checked when it's already too late? Pattern: interrupt with humor. And no, before you ask, shaking your piggy bank like a maraca won't magically make a 1955 wheat penny appear. But carefully looking through your collection just might. Search your drawers, your jars, your inherited coin boxes. If you find this rare penny, you could be sitting on a gateway to wealth most people only dream about. And even if you don't, the knowledge you've gained today puts you ahead of the crowd, because in the world of rare coins, information isn't just power, it's profit. And right now, you have the power to turn a single cent into nearly $1 million. So don't wait. Start your search. Your fortune could be hiding in plain sight, inside a coin worth $965,000. And remember, wealth doesn't just come to those who dream about it. It comes to those who take action. Imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out a simple penny, yes, just 1 cent. Now imagine that very penny being worth almost $1 million. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But today, that dream is very real. Because the 1957 Dewey penny, hiding quietly in collections and even in forgotten jars of change, has shocked the coin world with values soaring to an astonishing $998,000 in today's market. And here's the question you must ask yourself: could you, right now, be holding onto a piece of copper that could transform your life? Before we dive into the extraordinary story of this coin, I want you to picture what that kind of wealth could do. A debt-free lifestyle, the home you've always dreamed of, financial security for your family, and the ability to finally live not just comfortably, but abundantly. This isn't a fairy tale, it's the hidden truth about one coin that might just be sitting in your possession. The 1957 Dewey penny may seem ordinary at first glance. Millions were minted in Denver, after all. But here's the twist: the true treasures lie in the rarest variations, the overlooked errors, and the pristine conditions that have become the crown jewels of American coin collecting. Some showcase double dies, others feature striking misalignments, and a select few shine with such perfection that collectors are willing to pay nearly anything to claim them. Now, here's the shocking reality. Many families unknowingly tuck these coins away in drawers, shoeboxes, or even old piggy banks. Years go by, generations forget, and suddenly, the penny that could pay for a mansion is left collecting dust. Isn't it ironic? A coin worth less than a cup of coffee at the time now carries the power to rewrite your entire financial story. And here's a question to reset your attention: have you ever thought about how many times you've handed over pennies without a second glance? What if one of them was worth more than your entire car? Now you're thinking twice about those jars of change, aren't you? But let me take you deeper. The emotional power of these discoveries is unmatched. Imagine an ordinary person, just like you, stumbling across a forgotten penny and realizing it could sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Fear enters the picture too, because the truth is, for every person who finds one, many others miss their chance. They sell too soon. They overlook the small details. And in doing so, they walk away from life-changing wealth. That's why knowledge, timing, and awareness are everything. Cliffhanger transition to Act 3. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly makes this coin so valuable, and how can I know if I have one? Stay with me, because the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and one worth nearly $1 million lies in secrets that only the most attentive eyes will ever spot. And in just a moment, I'll reveal how those secrets could apply to you. Here's the truth that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary: condition, rarity, and demand. The 1957 Dewey penny, especially in pristine condition, what experts call mint state, is highly sought after by elite collectors. Add in rare minting errors like doubled lettering, die breaks, or misaligned strikes, and suddenly you're not just holding a coin, you're holding history. And history, when it's rare, is worth a fortune. But here's where the urgency comes in. Demand for rare coins like the 1957 Dewey penny has skyrocketed. Auctions are fierce, collectors are relentless, and the window of opportunity for ordinary people to cash in on this frenzy is shrinking by the day. Those who wait too long often regret it. And regret, my friends, doesn't come with second chances when it comes to once-in-a-lifetime coins. So let me ask you this: what would it feel like to discover that the path to wealth and freedom has been in your hands all along? Would you sit back and wonder what could have been? Or would you take action, uncover your collection, and step boldly into a future where your hidden treasures finally pay you back? Because the truth is, someone is going to cash in on these pennies. Someone is going to walk away with wealth beyond imagination. The only question is, will it be you? So tonight, when you open that jar of coins, when you flip through that old album or clear out your grandparents' attic, remember this: the next $1 million penny isn't a myth. It's real, it's waiting, and it may already be yours. If you feel the excitement, if you sense that urgency in your heart, then don't waste another moment. Examine your pennies. Research carefully. And when you uncover that treasure, know that you are part of a select group of people who turned a single cent into nearly $1 million. And before you go, don't just dream about wealth. Take the steps, embrace the knowledge, and act, because your financial breakthrough might be one coin away. Stay inspired, stay vigilant, and stay ready, because the 1957 D-Wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's a doorway to the life you've always imagined. Imagine holding in your hand what looks like an ordinary copper penny, just a single cent, something most people would toss in a jar and forget about. But what if I told you that this very coin, a 1958 D-Wheat penny, could be the gateway to a fortune worth over $908,000 in today's market? Yes, you heard me right. A coin that was once loose change in someone's pocket has transformed into a life-changing treasure. And if you have one tucked away in a dusty drawer, you could be sitting on wealth that rivals a luxury home, a dream retirement, or even a millionaire's lifestyle. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But stay with me, because the truth will surprise you. The year was 1958, and America was on the cusp of change. The post-war economy was booming, Elvis Presley was climbing the charts, and families were buying homes in the suburbs. Meanwhile, at the Denver Mint, millions of wheat pennies were struck, most of them destined for ordinary circulation. Yet hidden among these countless coins, a small handful emerged with qualities so rare, so pristine, that decades later collectors would fight tooth and nail to own them. Now let me ask you, have you ever thought about how many coins you've held and spent without a second thought? It's almost chilling to realize that even today, extraordinary treasures might be slipping through your fingers. The 1958 D penny isn't just copper, it's history, legacy, and wealth compressed into the size of a fingertip. And the value? That's where the story gets exciting. So, what makes this wheat penny worth $908,000 in today's market? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and relentless demand. Collectors around the world aren't just buying coins, they're investing in history. And the 1958 D-Wheat penny, in pristine uncirculated condition, represents one of the most sought-after opportunities in the world of numismatics. But here's the twist. Most people assume all 1958 D pennies are common. After all, millions were minted. But the truth is, only a select few with sharp details, flawless luster, and virtually no imperfections have skyrocketed into the 6- and 7-figure territory. These coins aren't hiding in plain sight, they're waiting to be discovered in old collections, forgotten safety boxes, or tucked away in family estates. And if you think you don't have one, think again. Every year, ordinary people discover coins that catapult them into financial freedom. Now here's a funny thought: while most people are scrambling for lottery tickets, the real jackpot could already be sitting in your home, in the form of a single penny. Isn't that ironic? We spend dollars to chase luck, but it's often pennies that bring the biggest fortune. And here's where urgency comes in: the demand for rare wheat pennies is exploding. Wealthy investors, collectors, and auction houses are competing fiercely, pushing prices higher and higher. The longer you wait to search your coins, the greater the chance someone else cashes in while you're left behind. This isn't just an opportunity, it's a race against time. And now, picture this: a quiet evening, you open an old drawer, and there it is, a 1958 D-Wheat penny in stunning condition. In that moment, your life changes forever. Suddenly, dreams of paying off debt, retiring early, or living a life of luxury aren't just fantasies, they're real, tangible possibilities. All because of a coin that others overlooked. But here's the cliffhanger: you might be wondering, how do you know if your penny is the right one? What if the coin in your possession is worth not just a few dollars, but hundreds of thousands? The truth is, many people give up too soon, assuming their pennies are worthless, when in fact they could be holding the very key to financial freedom. So let me ask you again, have you checked your coins lately? Because in this world of overlooked treasures, the next millionaire could be you. The story of the 1958 D-Wheat penny isn't just about a coin, it's about vision, timing, and the courage to look closer at what you already have. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Check your collections, ask family members, and start paying attention to every detail. Wealth isn't always created in boardrooms, it's often hiding in the smallest of places, waiting for someone bold enough to recognize it. And remember, fortune favors the prepared. So the question is, are you ready to discover the penny that could change your life forever? Imagine for a moment that an ordinary-looking penny, the kind you might have tossed into a jar on your dresser years ago, could be worth nearly $1 million today. Yes, a single copper coin, a 1957 no-mint Mark wheat penny, has skyrocketed in value to a staggering $966,000 in the current market. If you think that sounds unbelievable, stay with me, because over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal how this humble piece of change has transformed into a symbol of wealth, opportunity, and legacy. And by the end, you may find yourself looking differently at every penny that crosses your palm. Act 1 begins with the story of rarity and history. The 1957 wheat penny belongs to the final years of the legendary wheat reverse series, a design that ended in 1958 after decades of circulation. While billions of pennies were struck, a select few from 1957 stand apart: coins with no mint mark, coins preserved in extraordinary condition, coins with tiny details that make them nearly priceless. Collectors crave them, investors compete for them, and those who own one often describe it as holding a hidden ticket to wealth. Now, here's the fascinating twist: most people passed over this coin without a second thought. Can you imagine unknowingly dropping nearly $1 million into a parking meter? It's happened before, and it's happening still. Act 2 builds the tension. Why is this penny so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of condition, rarity, and demand. High-grade examples with a flawless strike can command 6 and even 7-figure prices. With the booming global interest in rare coins, the 1957 no-mint Mark wheat penny has moved from being just a collector's item to an asset that builds fortunes. Think of it like real estate in Manhattan: everyone wants a piece, but very few are available. And scarcity creates value. Here's a question for you: when was the last time you actually stopped to look at a penny before tossing it aside? If your answer is never, then this is your wake-up call. Because right now, someone is turning their small change into a new lifestyle, a lifestyle of freedom, wealth, and security. But let's not gloss over the urgency. This market moves fast. Rare coins are being snapped up at auctions across the country, and prices are climbing higher each year. What was once worth a few thousand is now closing in on $1 million. The window of opportunity doesn't stay open forever. You have to ask yourself, will you be the person who acts now, or will you watch from the sidelines as others cash in? Here's where the excitement truly builds. Experts are saying that coins like the 1957 wheat penny may soon break the $1 million mark at auction. Yes, 7 figures for a penny. That's not a dream, that's reality unfolding right now, and that brings us to Act 3, the climax of our story. Imagine the power of discovering such a coin in your possession. The freedom to pay off debts instantly, to secure a dream home, to invest in your family's future, or simply to enjoy the luxury lifestyle that comes from a single brilliant decision. This is more than just about money, it's about seizing a moment in history. Because wealth is not only about what you earn, but also about what you discover, what you hold, and what you choose to act upon. And while many people fear missing their chance, those who step forward boldly are the ones rewriting their financial destinies. So here's the cliffhanger: could one of these $1 million coins already be sitting in your possession, hidden in plain sight among the pennies you've overlooked? Don't laugh, people have found treasures in coin jars, in drawers, even tucked inside forgotten piggy banks. Humor me here: when was the last time you even opened that old jar of pennies in your kitchen? Maybe it's time. Because while others wait and hesitate, someone out there is about to discover life-changing wealth in the form of a single coin. And that someone could very well be you. The story of the 1957 no-mint Mark wheat penny is not just about a coin, it's about transformation. From ordinary to extraordinary. From overlooked to life-changing. From pocket change to $1 million masterpiece. And as the demand continues to soar, these coins aren't just relics of history, they're tickets to prosperity. Your next step? Look closely, act decisively, and position yourself among those who choose wealth instead of watching it slip away. Because opportunities like this come once in a lifetime, and the clock is ticking. Imagine for just a moment that a simple penny, tucked away in a jar, forgotten in a drawer, or sitting quietly in an old collection, could unlock a fortune big enough to transform your entire lifestyle. Yes, we're talking about the USA 1953 D-mint Mark wheat 1-cent penny, a coin that carries not just history, but the kind of staggering value that most people only dream about. Today, this coin's current market value stands at an unbelievable $975,000. And in some cases, rare variations and pristine conditions have driven collectors to pay into the millions. Now, before you think, it's just a penny. Let me tell you, this is no ordinary coin. Let's begin our story. Picture America in 1953. The nation was booming post-war, the economy was expanding, and the humble penny was still adorned with the classic wheat reverse design. While billions of these were minted in Denver, hidden within those masses were rare errors and unique conditions that today separate the common from the extraordinary. And it's these rare survivors, preserved against all odds, that now command jaw-dropping prices. But here's the truth that should excite you: most people don't even realize they could be holding one. Which begs the question, could you? Now, before we reveal the secrets behind the 1953 penny's immense value, let me throw a little pattern interrupt here. If you're thinking, I'll never find a rare coin like that, consider this: people said the same about winning the lottery. Yet every week, someone wins. The difference here? The odds are far more in your favor if you simply know what to look for. So, let's explore exactly why this tiny coin has the power to change lives. The excitement around the 1953 penny comes from a mix of condition rarity and dramatic minting errors. Some of these coins display doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or striking misalignments, flaws that collectors crave because they tell a story of imperfection in a world obsessed with precision. Combine that with coins preserved in near-perfect condition for over 70 years, and you have the ultimate recipe for desirability. Collectors today are willing to pay astronomical sums, not just for the coin itself, but for the prestige, the bragging rights, and the rarity of ownership. And here's the urgency: these coins aren't just out there forever. With each auction, with each private sale, availability shrinks and prices climb higher. But let's build some suspense. You might be asking, what exactly makes one 1953 penny worth just a few cents, while another is worth nearly $1 million? Well, that answer lies in a combination of three elements: rarity of the error, the condition of the strike, and the demand among elite collectors. And demand is soaring. In fact, recent market trends have shown that high-grade, certified examples of the 1953 wheat penny have consistently shattered expectations, fetching values close to $975,000, and in rare instances, skyrocketing beyond. So, let me ask you, if you found one today, would you sell it immediately, or would you hold it as an appreciating asset, like fine art? That's the kind of decision that makes this journey not just about coins, but about wealth strategy. Now, here's a cliffhanger you don't want to miss. Many people overlook coins in their family's possessions simply because they assume it's just old pocket change. Yet history has proven that coins like this often surface in estate sales, in forgotten albums, and even tucked in shoeboxes at the back of closets. What if you're sitting on such an opportunity without even knowing it? Imagine the fear of realizing too late that you let $1 million penny slip through your fingers. That fear should fuel urgency, because knowledge is what turns missed opportunities into life-changing ones. As we move into the final act, let's tie this all together. The 1953 wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's a doorway into wealth, legacy, and lifestyle. For the 30 to 65-year-old viewer watching right now, the person who dreams of financial independence, who envisions themselves living without worry, traveling first class, securing their family's future, this coin represents more than history. It represents opportunity. And opportunity is always seized by those who recognize its value before the crowd does. So, here's the takeaway. If you own coins, examine them closely. If you've inherited collections, don't ignore them. And if you're truly serious about living a wealthy lifestyle through rare coins, stay curious, stay informed, and take action. Because the next time a 1953 wheat penny hits the auction block, it could be the one that rewrites your story. And let me leave you with this: somewhere right now, there's a collector willing to pay nearly $1 million for the very penny that could be in your possession. The only question left is, will you be the one to discover it, or will someone else claim the fortune that was meant for you? Stay with me, because in upcoming videos, I'll reveal more coins hiding in plain sight that could make you a millionaire. Imagine reaching into an old jar of pennies, brushing off the dust, and discovering a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that it could change your life forever. Today, we're diving into the story of a simple-looking piece of copper that hides a secret most people would never notice: the 1952 no-mint mark wheat penny. While countless people overlook coins like this, those who recognize its true value are already sitting on fortunes. And right now, this coin is making headlines because its current market value is a staggering $964,000, and some predict it could cross into the millions at auction. Now, before you think, it's just a penny, how could it possibly be worth that much? Let me tell you, every fortune begins with someone daring to see value where others see none. The tragedy? Many people unknowingly let these coins slip away. Could you be holding one without even realizing it? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is in such high demand and why collectors are scrambling to pay fortunes for it. The 1952 wheat penny might look ordinary, but what makes the no-mint mark version so valuable is its rarity. Minting errors, especially those from the early 1950s, have become the golden ticket for coin collectors. Each mistake, each unusual strike, adds a level of scarcity that drives demand sky-high. And in the world of rare coins, scarcity isn't just interesting, it's everything. Imagine being one of only a handful of people in the world to own such a treasure. It's like holding a golden key to wealth, prestige, and legacy. Collectors aren't just paying for a coin, they're paying for history, for exclusivity, and for bragging rights that come with owning something most people will never see in their lifetimes. That's why this 1952 wheat penny has gone from being loose change to a high-value asset worth nearly $1 million. And when you realize there are collectors willing to pay even more, the excitement builds, because the demand for rare pennies isn't slowing down anytime soon. And now, let's interrupt this thought for a second. Quick question: when was the last time you actually checked your coin jar, or that shoebox in the attic? Funny, isn't it, how we ignore what might literally be $1 million opportunity sitting in plain sight? The truth is, opportunities like this rarely announce themselves. They're quietly waiting, disguised as something ordinary. But here's the cliffhanger: you'll want to know what makes this penny specifically stand apart, and why it's become a golden ticket for those lucky enough to own one. And that's exactly what we're about to uncover. So, what sets the 1952 no-mint mark wheat penny apart? It's not just its age. It's the error in its production, the lack of a mint mark, and the astonishing condition of the few surviving examples. Each one is a snapshot of history, a preserved artifact that embodies America's mid-century story. And because collectors crave perfection and rarity, the demand for coins like this skyrockets every single year. But here's where the urgency comes in: these coins are not just rare, they're disappearing into private collections, never to be seen again. Every time one sells, it leaves fewer available for the market. That's why prices are climbing so dramatically. The window of opportunity to discover one, or to sell one for life-changing money, is shrinking. Now think about it: what would you do if you discovered you owned one? Would you cash in today for nearly $1 million? Or would you hold on to it, knowing its value could double or even triple in the years to come? That's the exciting and terrifying decision collectors face every single day. And here's the part that should ignite you: people just like you, ordinary folks, have stumbled upon these treasures. They didn't need Wall Street portfolios or million-dollar startups. They simply recognized the value of what they held in their hands. One penny turned into a lifetime of financial security. That's the power of knowledge, and the power of seizing opportunity before it slips away. So, I'll leave you with this: don't underestimate the pennies hiding in your pocket, your drawer, or your coin jar. Because while most people are too busy dismissing them, a select few are building generational wealth, one coin at a time. The 1952 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's a golden opportunity. And right now, it could be waiting in your hands. Imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, flipping through a handful of old coins that have been sitting in a jar for decades. They seem ordinary, just loose change, nothing special. But what if I told you that inside that jar, you could be holding a single coin worth nearly $1 million? Yes, a coin so rare, so valuable, that collectors across the world would fight to get their hands on it. Today, we are diving into the extraordinary story of the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny, a simple 1-cent coin with a current market value soaring up to $954,000. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at spare change the same way again. Now, let's step into Act 1, the setup. Back in 1951, the US Mint was producing millions of wheat pennies. They were everywhere, jingling in pockets, passing through grocery stores, and tossed casually into piggy banks. Most people never paid attention to them. But here's the twist: while most wheat pennies are common, a tiny fraction came out of the presses with unique characteristics that instantly transformed them into hidden treasures. The no-mint mark 1951 penny is one of those treasures. It looks like every other wheat penny at first glance, but here's the catch: its subtle differences and impeccable condition make it stand out in a way that skyrockets its value. but before we go deeper, let me ask you this: when was the last time you actually checked the coins lying in your drawers? Chances are, you're sitting on potential wealth without even realizing it. Isn't it funny how we spend hours chasing investment opportunities, but sometimes the real fortune is just rattling around in a cup holder? That's the magic of coin collecting. One overlooked penny can change your financial destiny. Now we move into Act 2, the confrontation. This is where the drama unfolds. The 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny is rare, yes, but rarity alone isn't what gives it the staggering price tag of $954,000. It's about condition, history, and demand. Collectors crave this coin, and when demand meets scarcity, prices skyrocket. Imagine auction rooms filled with high net worth bidders, each raising their paddle higher and higher, desperate to own a piece of history. That's not just excitement, that's legacy wealth being built in real time, and here's the emotional trigger you need to consider: fear of missing out. Every year, coins like this surface in unexpected places, found by ordinary people who cash in big. Yet for every success story, there are thousands of people who overlooked their chance, who let that one coin slip away without ever knowing. Which side of that story will you be on? The side that shrugs it off, or the side that seizes the opportunity and steps into wealth? Let's break the tension for a moment. Imagine trying to buy a coffee with a 1951 wheat penny worth nearly $1 million. Can you picture the cashier's face? That'll be $3.50, please. You hand over your penny, and they just gave away a fortune with your change. A little humor, yes, but it drives home the point. Every penny matters when you understand its true value. Now, here's where things get fascinating. This coin isn't just a piece of copper. It's a time capsule. It tells the story of post-war America, a country finding its footing, building families, and dreaming big. And now, decades later, it has become a symbol of hidden opportunity. By holding one, you're not just holding metal, you're holding history, rarity, and a direct pathway into the world of serious wealth. And that is why collectors will pay astronomical prices to own it. As we shift into Act 3, the resolution, here's where the story becomes personal for you. Right now, the demand for rare coins is exploding. Wealthy collectors, investors, and even museums are chasing after pieces like the 1951 no-mint mark penny. Its value isn't just stable, it's growing. And here's the cliffhanger: what if the next record-breaking sale pushes this coin past the $1 million mark? What if the penny sitting in your home right now is the next one to hit the headlines? That's why you must act with urgency. Don't let your old pennies collect dust. Don't assume they're worthless. Take the time to examine them, to learn their stories, and to understand their worth. Because the truth is, these coins are no longer just collectibles, they're keys to financial freedom, wealth, and a lifestyle that most people only dream of. So, as we close, remember this. The 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than a coin. It's a rare chance to step into history, to secure wealth, and to rewrite your financial story. The opportunity is here, the demand is real, and the time is now. The only question is, will you be the one who discovers fortune in the smallest of places? Or will you let it pass by unnoticed, because sometimes, a penny really can make you a millionaire. Imagine for a moment that the smallest coin in your pocket, a simple penny, could open the door to a lifestyle of luxury, wealth, and financial freedom. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But what if I told you that a single 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny has been selling for nearly $1 million in today's market? That's right, this unassuming copper coin, barely worth a fraction of a cent in circulation, is now valued at an astonishing $974,000. And here's the truth: people just like you, ordinary collectors, grandparents cleaning out drawers, even heirs sorting through old estates, are uncovering these rare treasures, changing their lives overnight. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal why this coin is so powerful, how it became one of the most sought-after rarities in the world, and why right now is the best moment in history to cash in. But before we dive deeper, let me ask you a quick question. How many times have you tossed aside pennies thinking they were worthless? Be honest. We all do it. And yet, hidden in that pile of worthless change could be a six-figure fortune. Isn't it funny how life has a way of disguising wealth in the simplest places? The story of the 1944 wheat penny is more than just about money, it's about timing, chance, and the extraordinary hiding in the ordinary. During World War II, copper was in high demand for ammunition and equipment. In 1943, pennies were struck from steel to save copper for the war. But in 1944, production returned to copper, and in that chaotic transition, a number of unusual errors were born. Some pennies were struck on leftover steel planchets. Others bore subtle, unusual characteristics that make them so valuable today. And now here's where it gets exciting. The no-mint mark 1944 wheat penny stands at the very top of this collector frenzy. Why? Because it represents rarity, demand, and history all in one. Collectors don't just see a coin. They see a piece of America's past, a tangible artifact of resilience, struggle, and triumph. And when that coin surfaces in the market, it sparks fierce competition. Bidders battle it out. Auctions ignite. Prices skyrocket. The last one sold didn't just fetch a good price, it nearly touched the $1 million mark. Let me put this into perspective. Imagine opening a dusty old coin jar in your attic and realizing you're holding something worth more than a Ferrari, a luxury condo, or a retirement fund. Imagine the shock, the adrenaline, the sudden flood of possibilities. That's not a fantasy, that's the reality of the 1944 wheat penny market today. Now I know what you might be thinking. Sure, this sounds great, but how do I know if I have one? Hold that thought. I'll answer it, but not just yet. Because before you learn how to spot one, you need to understand why urgency is everything. The coin world is booming like never before. With baby boomers downsizing, estates being liquidated, and collectors chasing the next trophy piece, demand for rare pennies is at a fever pitch. And here's the real kicker, prices are climbing faster than ever. The $974,000 record is not the ceiling, it's a milestone. Experts predict these coins could break the $1 million barrier in the very near future. And those who act now, who dig through their collections today, who bring their coins to market while demand is red hot, those are the ones who will secure the rewards. So let me ask you, what would your life look like if you discovered one? Would you pay off your mortgage? Retire early? Travel the world? Or maybe leave behind a legacy for your family that they'll never forget. And here's the cliffhanger I promised. Identifying this penny isn't as complicated as you think, but it does require a keen eye. In just a moment, I'll reveal the telltale signs that separate a regular 1944 wheat penny from the jackpot version worth nearly $1 million. And trust me, you don't want to miss this part, because if you click away now, you might walk past your chance at generational wealth tomorrow. Stay tuned, because in the next scene, we're unlocking the exact secrets to spotting $1 million penny in your collection.